Hey everybody, Christian from the Arcana Dev team here. This is the first devlog since the end of the Kindred Game Jam and the first full devlog for Artis Arcana. If you have no clue what Artis Arcana is, I'd recommend watching Devlog 0, but if you do, let's jump right into this. We've made a lot of changes since the last time we talked to you guys, so I figure I'd go over some of the bigger ones here. I modified the specialty magic, making dark attacks and lightning attacks now some of the strongest attacks in the game, while making fireballs a bit weaker due to the addition of magma balls. There's a lot of room to change here, but overall I think these changes are moving us into the right direction for our game balance and how much damage an attack should or should not do. I've also made it to where picking up items is a necessity to receive them, and killing an enemy will no longer deposit an item directly into your inventory. I did this in hopes of adding more to the survival feeling of the game and adding a bit more strategy than just spraying into a room, hoping to kill an enemy, or knowing that you killed an enemy just by an item being put into your inventory. The way this works is after the death of an enemy, it has an animation where they morph into the item drop, the code disables their movement, the sounds they make, and removes their damage collider, allowing for an area 2D to check to see if the player enters into the pickup zone, and then once the player does, it deletes the item from existence. I've modified how armor works, both to make it more expensive and to change how it works in general. Originally, it only cost 2 metal, but now it costs 3 metal and a gel, and it was always there to give you a percentage chance not to take damage every hit. I decided that was too RNG based and too rare to be worth anything, so I made it as armor as an extra heart that can be used to block specific attacks that aren't piercing. This change is pretty easy. I just had to modify my hitbox code to check if the player has armor, and to check if what was hitting them had any penetration, such as the tank, which normally has 2 hearts of damage, but with armor, you'll take 1 heart of penetration damage and lose 1 armor piece in general. Each attack while wearing armor that you are dealt damage with destroys the piece of armor that protects you as well. I'm currently working on a new attack for Ivan, where instead of firing his tracking shots, he fires 2 fast beams straight forward as he sweeps side to side, making dodging only possible through dashes or using your attacks to block his. This event will be rare throughout the fight to prevent an unfair battle for this level 3 boss. All this required was changing the original attack to focus on 2 new nodes and making sure they fired a lot faster than the original tracking shots. I've added a light slime to the game, has the most health out of any of the slimes currently, twice as much as the fire slime, has the same acceleration as ice slimes, the turnaround speed of fire slimes, and a max speed almost twice as fast as the player, making light slimes an actual challenge even for good players, as the sudden speed and tankiness make light slimes a surprisingly strong enemy. I've also added a creature called the Corrupted to throw a wrench into the player's playstyle by giving it a fast projectile attack but slow movement speed, making normal dodge and weave strategies not near as functional, and making later levels a lot more difficult. It can only be killed in 1 shot by the dark attack or a lightning attack, as its health is 20, almost as much as the Slime King boss from the tutorial level. Anytime he fires his weapon, he slows down considerably, making evasion a better option than standing your ground. I've also begun the arduous process of creating levels for the game, as procedurally generated levels don't have as much personality or balance planning as custom-made levels. I've made several level 1 and 2 level 2s, and have begun work on the final level as well. Currently I have 5 level 1s, and I have about 30% of the final design for level 5 done. I plan on adding enemies and portals into it very soon, so I can get more levels into the up-to-date build on the itch.io page. Speaking of the final level, I've also finished sketching up some artwork for the final boss, and I'm pretty proud of how it turned out. I'm sure you can tell how the Corrupteds are based off this monster. He was a piece I made a few months ago that I converted into a pixel art enemy. Along with the final music track, he's horrifying, and I absolutely love the way he turned out, and I hope you guys will be terrified along with me. That's as far as the game has made it so far. I know it wasn't too much change, but I'm pretty proud of our progress. I have other video plans in the works, so get ready for those. If you liked what you saw, maybe like and subscribe, and if you really liked what you saw, consider becoming a patron. Any support is appreciated. There's also a link to my Discord down below, so if you want to keep up with us and Artis Arcana, make sure to join us there. And there's also the link to Hamish, the guy who did my music for me. I hope you guys enjoy and have a great one.